How can I control my emotions? This is a question I get asked again and again. And I used to ask this question myself. How can I control my emotions? How can I control my anger? How can I control my upset, my frustration? And people are looking for an answer for this. You might be too. What if controlling our emotions is really not the key? Not the key to happiness, not the key to contentment. And actually, what if it takes us away from our goal, from our actually achieving what we really want to achieve in life in terms of our internal happiness? In this video, I'm going to share with you not techniques. I've shared techniques in other videos, but I'm going to teach you something which, if you have a deeper understanding of, it's truly going to change your life. And we are talking about sustainable transformation. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Rani. I'm a mental health coach and a holistic psychiatrist. I help you unlock your exceptional brilliance to be a higher version of you. When people ask me, how can I control my emotions? Actually, they are saying, I don't like how I feel. How can I change that? How can I fix my feelings? And I don't blame them. Me too. Sometimes it feels so heavy. Some of the feelings we experience as human beings are heavy and dark, and it just doesn't feel right. It feels like, how can I just take this away from me? How can I get rid of this as fast as possible, as soon as possible? And so surely we need some answers, right? Surely we need to learn some techniques. And techniques have their place. Practices we can do on a regular basis have their place. And we have all seen that sometimes, despite doing our techniques and practicing mindfulness or practicing breathing, we still get lost in our thinking. We still have very painful experiences. The thing is, we can't escape feeling human experiences, no matter how much we try. And like you might have noticed already, techniques sometimes work, but when we really need them to work the most, like when we are in the heat of the moment, when we are really struggling in that moment, no technique works. So there has to be another answer. There has to be a deeper realization of our human experiences. So this is what I'm going to share with you in this video. And I have found out the hard way. I would like to make it easier for you. As I've mentioned, all the techniques work some of the time. And it doesn't matter whether you're going through therapy or whether you are having a very deep conversation with someone, or you're attending a personal development conference, or you are having group therapy or counseling or coaching. It's not the intervention as such. It's not the practitioner as such, although you can say that the practitioner plays a huge role in creating a safe container and also very skillfully guiding someone to see something for themselves. But the key is that we have an insight. Insight meaning a sight from within. We see something, we realize something that shifts our way of being, shifts our perception, shifts our thinking, at least in that moment. And sometimes we have such deep insights that our whole life changes. That has happened to me, and that can happen to you, or might have already happened to you. The reason why interventions work when they work, the reason why sometimes our self-help strategies work, the positive ones as well as the negative ones. You know what I mean, right? The positive ones like going for a run, going for a swim, taking the dog's walk for a long walk. All of those strategies seem to work, and sometimes even our unhelpful strategies seem to work, meaning watching a lot of Netflix or perhaps numbing ourselves with alcohol or food that we know is not good for us, you name it. Sometimes they all seem to work, but when they work, all it means is that the mind has quietened down. We are not associating with our thinking. We are able to detach from our thinking or feeling or any experiences, and the mind has settled down. It has quietened. This is why strategies work when we think they work, alongside the shift in perception. So here's the question: would an internal shift happen even when no technique is applied. This is what I'm going to talk about today, because my experience has been that yes, I have learned several techniques and they seem to have helped me, they seem to have worked, and I still have some mindful practices that I have shared in other videos. But there has been a deeper realization of how the mind works, and some don'ts, what not to entertain, what not to keep doing, that I'm going to share in this video. Here I will share 2 understanding and 3 learning points. So the first understanding is about learning the source of our feelings, the source of our experiences. I've said this in other videos and I'm going to remind you again. Thoughts and feelings are 2 sides of the same coin. If you are feeling something, there has to be thought involved. Now you might say, but Rani, sometimes I feel something and I'm not even thinking anything. Well, I'm talking about the energy of thought, the spiritual nature of thought. The only way we can have any experiences is through the medium of thought, as an energy, as a spiritual energy. And when this lands for you, when you realize, oh, I don't have to get scared of my feelings, all it means is that at the moment there is some kind of experience I'm having because of thinking, because of the power of thought taking form in this very moment. So that's the first understanding. I can't help you how many people I've spoken to that this understanding has helped to get the mind quiet or quieten the mind. It has helped me in my own life. Sometimes I still get carried away. It really feels as if I'm feeling what's happening out there rather than feeling my thinking in this moment. You don't have to take my word for it. Just test it out. You don't have to admit to anyone that, oh, I realized that I was feeling my thinking. Just test it out for you, as if you're a scientist, as if you're a researcher, and you really want to find out. And this is the next understanding, is a feeling is like a barometer. It's not telling us about what's happening out there or what happened in the past. The feeling is like a barometer. It's telling us about the quality of our thinking and also the quantity of our thinking. If we have lots and lots of thinking going on, that we are continuously thinking and analyzing, guess what? We are going to feel overwhelmed. When you're feeling overwhelmed, that means you are overwhelmed by the thinking going on. If you're feeling frustrated, you have some frustrated thinking going on. And the feelings, all it says is that, oh, this is the quality of your thinking in this moment. So sometimes you know that you feel low, there's a low vibe feeling or low vibe energy. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel positive, there's high vibe thinking. Just like the barometer, it gives us a sense of the atmospheric pressure. So when the barometer reading is high, that means there's good weather, good external weather. When the reading is low, it's like the weather is not great, okay? And there might be a storm coming up anytime. Similarly, we have an internal weather, and our feelings are an indication of our internal weather system. So when we are feeling good, all it means is that we are having some rich thoughts, we are having some optimistic thoughts. We are going to then experience those optimism and those positive feelings. Similarly, when we are feeling upset or low or frustrated, it just indicates that, oh, our thinking is that, our thinking is low and upset and frustrating. When we see the truth of this and we don't take our feelings as if they represent the absolute reality, like this is what it means, we have freedom. We can be kinder to ourselves. We can allow ourselves to be completely human and have a human experience. Isn't that freeing? Rather than learning one technique after another, rather than trying to meditate many more times a day, when we allow ourselves to be human and know that that's not who we truly are. Our emotions, our feelings, our thinking are not who we truly are. And we forgive ourselves for sometimes behaving in ways, reacting in ways which is not a normal self. And of course we need to clean up the mess. There will be consequences, right? But the more we tune in to our feelings and check in from time to time and know, oh, is low quality thinking in this moment. So I'll be gentle with myself. I don't have to take my thinking seriously. It's not the same as not validating our experiences. It's not the same as, oh, I should not be feeling upset, so I won't think about it. No, it's okay to validate that this is where I am right now. And sometimes we all feel a bit sorry for ourselves. Me too. And there is freedom. We can feel sorry for ourselves, and we don't have to boost our mood up immediately. We can stay in that place until it feels right to just say, okay, time to move on. Because we know how the mind works. We know the nature of our thoughts and feelings. We know that the feeling is an indication of a quality of thinking. So it's a very empowering way. So when we understand this, we can live an empowered life. We realize that we can create a life knowing this and playing a better game. We don't have to create a reality from a low-level thinking. We can create a reality from a higher place. So that brings me to the 3 learning points. The first one is learn not to get scared of your feelings, even the most uncomfortable feelings. And this might seem like a hard one because some of the feelings, some of our internal experiences are very, very scary. They're very, very dark. What do you mean by I should not be scared of my experiences? When you know that at a deeper level, you're always psychologically safe. I'm not talking about physical safety, but psychologically, we are always safe at a fundamental spiritual level. Once we know this, we can bring a distance between our scary, uncomfortable thoughts by observing them, by noticing that we have scary feelings, scary experiences, and realizing that they do come and go. We can have intense physiological experiences as a result of whatever we are experiencing, and yet when we realize that they are not fixed, they are dynamic. In this moment, I am having a very intense experience, and as my thinking shifts, as my level of consciousness rises up, this will alleviate, this will pass. And so there is a deeper truth to the line, this too shall pass. When you really know that at every moment of your life, you are psychologically safe and you already have mental health, except that you don't believe it. Even when you don't believe it, you still have true mental health, what I call mental wealth. So when you learn not to get scared of your experiences, that is also going to help you massively in your transformational journey. And one of the examples I give very often to my clients and my patients is this. Now imagine a young child scared of monsters under the bed. So it's bedtime and then mommy comes to read her a story and she's scared of going to bed. Why? Because there are monsters under the bed. So bedtime might be very difficult for her. So mommy would need to just be with her and help her understand that there are no monsters under the bed. It's her imagination. How can mommy do that? Well, it will take time, it will take love, it will take patience, and mommy might have to switch on the light and take a torch and with the little girl look under the bed and show her several times, several days that there are no monsters on the bed. And at some point it will click. The little girl will realize that, oh, there are no monsters under the bed. It's my thinking. Similarly, when we realize at a deeper level that even the most scary experiences we have, they are not real. That's because of the illusion of the mind. Our mind makes everything scary with the thinking we have got in the moment. And just like the little girl's mommy switches on the light, we too can learn to switch on the light. At some point, when we keep testing this out, a light bulb moment happens for us from within, and we realize that I don't have to feel so scared of our experiences. Most importantly, I don't need to believe my thinking. Check it out, test it out for yourself and see what shifts for you when you take this approach. The second learning point is learn not to judge ourselves for experiencing any negative feelings or negative emotions. I don't know about you, but I judge myself a lot. It's got much better than before, much better than before. And yet there's still moments where I notice I'm judging myself. I blame myself for feeling upset, feeling frustrated. Come on, you should know this by now. Why did you do that? Oh, you did that same behavior again. You said you were not going to do that. What happened? So we judge ourselves. We are our worst critic. Would it not be wonderful to actually practice being kinder to ourselves? And what I mean by that is not to judge ourselves for being human, because the mind is such that we will all fall for the illusion. We will not realize that it is our thinking in the moment. It really looks so real. When we feel guilty, when we feel upset, it actually worsens the internal weather. The internal weather will get better by itself, but we are the ones that saying, no, don't get better yet, because I need to feel guilty or I need to judge myself. When we drop judgment and we forgive ourselves for being human, forgive ourselves again for getting caught up in our thinking, for behaving in ways that we don't like to behave, something shifts in us. When we are kinder to ourselves, you will find that we are also kinder to other people. We realize that they too, like us, are beating themselves up for something they had done, they think they shouldn't have done. So learn to be kinder to yourself by judging yourself less. The third learning point is learning not to make any major decisions when you are in a low state. When we feel low, it feels like we need to make an urgent choice, an urgent decision. Actually, that's the worst time to take any action. Have you ever received an email and you felt really upset about it, and then you start typing and maybe even have sent it through and later regretted what you had done? This intense emotion sometimes comes with this impulsivity, as if we need to take action now. And again, that's not what the intense emotions are saying. The intense emotions are not saying act now. The intense emotions are indication that it is best not to act now. Let the dust settle first. When we have allowed the mind to settle down, we are going to see things more clearly. We might be more diplomatic in our answer when we respond to that email versus when we respond to the email being very furious and speaking our mind. There will be consequences to it, right? So when we allow ourselves to just take our time before we respond, especially when we are experiencing an intense emotion, you are a true leader. You are a better version of yourself. And this is a skill that most people lack. And you know what? You can build up that skill with just learning to slow down, learning to not take action despite feeling impulsive and wanting to take action. What I would like to say is that everything I have spoken about so far leads to emotional freedom. Yes, you can learn techniques to achieve emotional freedom. And even if you don't apply any techniques, when you deepen your understanding of how the mind works, the source of our feelings, what our feelings are indicating, that they are like the barometer, telling us about the quality of our thinking in any moment, and even the quantity of the thinking in any moment. We just know what to do. Our inner wisdom shines through. We feel grounded. We are able to say no with love. We are able to say no and maintain boundaries. We are also able to listen deeply to what the other person is saying. We become better human beings and a better version of ourselves. I once went to a conference and the speaker was amazing, and he said, even if you don't remember everything I said, just remember the 6 words, and this is going to shift how you live life and help you be a higher version of yourself. You want to know the 6 words? Love more, judge less, go deep. I'll leave you with the 6 words. If you like this video, do like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.